in the background, because this is a direct interview question in the interview saying that explain about the SQL Server architecture. Hello guys, hope you are doing good. Today we are going to look into the concept of SQL architecture. This is going to be a very critical and important concept wherein this is going to help you out in across all the SQL DBA job. So focus on this, concentrate on this. If you understand this, understanding the SQL DB course or the activities is very easy. So I request you to put some focus on this and watch till the end so that you will understand everything about the SQL architecture and what is going on in the background. If you see the picture, you can see an example which I want to try or explain how the SQL Server usage can be done. I'm taking an example saying that we have a database having some rows in one table and we want to see the data of rows in that particular table. If that is an example, and if you want to do that, these are the steps which we will follow, wherein which this is the first step which we follow to connect to the SQL Server with SSMS. Related to the SSMS, what is SSMS and everything I explained in the previous sessions. How to install that, you can go and check out in this playlist. So that because that will be the first point to connect to the SQL database. So initially we will connect to the SQL with SSMS, and later we will try to execute a query of some rows, and later we'll be getting some output of the rows. This is the actual flow which we usually do. We'll see this. So this is the database which we have, and we can see the tables which you are seeing here, all the tables which you can see, the database log, error log, and all other tables. So if I want to fetch the data in any table, what I need to do is I need to execute a query, a simple query saying that select, I want to select all the data from any particular table. I select this one and I will execute. So it will show some data. It is showing some one row of data. Like that, I can execute any other data related to other tables. We want to see the rows or the data available in the table. So if we want to see this, this is the process which we see here. See, you can see here like 290 rows you are seeing here. Likewise, this is the steps which we follow if we want to execute any query, and so that we'll get some output from the SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. This is an actual flow. Here I am going to explain you what is happening in the background. That is the architecture which we are discussing today. What happens in the background under each step. So if you see to the protocols, if you see here the protocols, you can see the protocol layer. Before that, I'll go to the main architecture. So this is the main architecture. Very important concept. If you understand this, I'm repeating this multiple times because understanding this is going to help you out a lot in this course or the topics. So this is an architecture wherein how the SQL Server runs in the background. Here what we saw is in the front end. What is happening, how to connect, how to execute, how to get the output is what we are seeing in the front end. But what is happening in the background? Because this is a direct interview question in the interview saying that explain about the SQL Server architecture. Very simple question, but if you explain the answer for this step by step, then you will impress the interviewer, because explaining all the steps of this architecture is very important. If you understand this, you will be able to answer this question easily. So this is what happens in the background. So connect, here we are the user which we want to try to connect. So once we want to try to connect here, once we want to try to connect, what will happen, what is impacting in the background. So there is a network interface, there is an interface or a layer which takes us to the next level. There is an interface which helps us to move from the outside to the next level. So I will show you that. This is which I opened as a SQL Server Configuration Manager. When you install SQL Server, this configuration manager also will be installed here. You can see all the details related to this here. You can see all the information related to the SQL Server here. So as I am showing you here, there is a layer after us. There is a layer called network interface. So you can see here there is a network configuration, because when you try to execute a connect, it is not directly going ahead and executing on the going ahead and connecting to the SMS, connecting, executing, and everything. Behind that, there is some process happening. That's what we are trying to check. So there is a SQL Server network interface. Means this is a layer which helps us to take from outside to the next level of protocol layer. So before that, I will also show you some pages or protocols related to this. Okay, so there is a protocol layer which we are showing here. Let me pull out that particular thing. Yeah, so I want to show you this. The layer, this is an architecture of the layer. So user means the person who is connecting to the SSMS or who is connecting to the database. What happens? How many layers are there? User will need to go through the protocol layer, relational layer, and the storage layer. This is the outer view of how the layers are created and how the user will be going inside. So after that, we'll look into the concept of protocol layer. So as we see here, the first point or the first thing is related to the protocol layer, which we are looking in this particular thing, protocol layer. So this protocol layer will help us to take to the next level. What is the next level which I am showing here? Here you can see here, this is a protocol layer, and this will take us to the next level. This is called a relational layer. This is a protocol layer and this is a relational layer, but as a user you cannot directly go ahead and perform all the activities. Each activity will have its own architecture which is running in the background. So this is a protocol layer. So the protocol layer consists of shared memory, named pipes, and TCP by IP. So if you see here, this is the network configuration which we are passing through the one of the interface which we are seeing here as network SQL network interface. Then if you go inside, what is happening? Protocols of MS SQL. If you click here, you can see the protocols of MS SQL. So the interview question here is, explain the protocols of SQL Server. Explain the protocols of MS SQL Server is the question. So you need to explain the three types of protocols with examples or how this actually runs. So I will focus on this today related to the protocols, wherein, because as I told previously, the interview question was explain about the MS SQL Server architecture. Once you complete this, the next question will be on explain the protocols of MS SQL Server. So which is the reason I am focusing on the protocol layer, which we are seeing here as shared memory, named pipes, and TCP by IP. So I will give you a real-time example so that you will understand and you will never forget. So this is the analogy which I am trying to. What is a shared memory? I am trying to explain here what is a shared memory and what what is name pipes and what is TCP by IP. So here shared memory means, example, think that there is a child and a mother in a house. Child is asking for coffee, mother is serving coffee to the child. Here important thing is child and the mother are at the same house, same place, same location. Means that if you want to access the server, example I am telling, right, this is installed on my desktop. If I want to access here, this particular shared memory should be enabled. If the shared memory is not enabled, the access will not be there, we cannot connect to this instance. So that is the reason I am just trying to explain here. The mother and the child are in the same place, and mother is serving the coffee. To convert that into a SQL server, accessing on the same server, so that we can able to connect to the database. So I hope you will be able to understand what is a shared memory. Shared memory is nothing but the SQL server installation is accessible on the local host or on the same server. Accessing SQL server on the same server. If you come to the named pipes means, here is an example. There are two people who are in the same company, but the company is having two floors. One person is in one floor, another person is in another floor. But the network or the LAN will be same for whole office. Even there are in first floor or second floor, the network they are connected are same. So converting that into our MS SQL, accessing the server in the same LAN or network. Suppose think that my laptop is there, I am able to access here, and there is another server in my same LAN. Then to access that server, the named pipes should be enabled. I hope you should be able to understand here. Named pipes means in the same network, I should be able to access from one location to one server to other server, which is the reason I explained here, accessing servers in the same LAN or network. I hope this should be clear about the differences between the shared memory named pipes and going to the TCP by IP. TCP by IP is like an ordering a coffee from a different location. So the person or the external person want to access or connect with you. External person want to give you the coffee which you ordered, means that accessing the server which is in a different location. It is not in a same location, it is not in a same network, but TCP by IP is a protocol which helps people to connect to the database server from a different location with help of some port numbers. So TCP by IP is a protocol which is used to serve access to the external servers. Example, say that I am here in one location and I have server in some other state. So from here I can connect to that particular server with the help of the port number, which is the reason this is a TCP by IP. So these are the three protocols where SQL Server runs in the background. If you come to the real-time flow, connect to the SQL Server has this much background running at the architecture level. So we saw the SQL interface. SQL interface is just a layer which hosts the protocol layers. Protocol layers will be available under SQL Server Network Interface. So I hope you understood this protocol layer now. So I want to divide this architecture into couple of sessions because I want to be very clear on the architecture. As I told, as this is very much important, this need to be as clear as possible. So for now, I'll stop this session. I want you to review this, understand this, watch the video full, and add your comments in the video for any doubts, so that in the next session I'll be able to answer your queries, so that your learning will be a in-depth learning of each topic or the concept. I hope you enjoyed, and you feel this will be very much valuable to you. So if you feel this is valuable to you, I have a request saying that please share this to your friends, so that it will be helpful for them. And don't forget to like or subscribe, and stay tuned for the more in-depth videos on SQL Server DBA activities or the DBA course. Thank you again.